and welcome back.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, folks.
Happy Halloweener. You still have lipstick on your mouth.
It's fine. Makes me look stylish. So, what's today's agenda, honey?
Today's agenda, we're going to talk about films that we grew up watching for Halloween, and a couple of them that you probably know better than I do, because I don't do scary movies.
Yeah.
But
I'm a big fan of scary movies.
Before we get into that, if you're on, visual and watching this on YouTube, which you should be, if you're just playing us in the background, that's fine too. I'll describe our outfits for you. We were originally supposed to be Beast Boy and Raven on date night. I don't have my gemstone on my forehead or anything like that. But the hair dye didn't stick too good with Rylan, and then...
Too dark of hair.
Too dark. You can't really even tell. I mean, you can a little bit. I've got purple on the ends of my hair. Didn't really stick. We used Manic Panic, which I'm actually kind of grateful for because I haven't really been wanting to dye my hair. If you know me, I dye my hair funky colors all the time. Mm-hmm. You are in a Green Lantern hoodie instead.
Yes. Because I like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't appreciate Green Lantern, but I actually like Green Lantern. You should read more comic books about him. Green
Lantern and your Sprout. He's always got his Sprout on his headphones.
Plant Man.
And I am in a 90s velvet dress with a lace corset and a celestial top and sun and moon earrings with my normal jewelry on. But my thorn necklace that you got me a few years ago,
yes.
Last year, from the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo. And like I said...
Not Batman.
No. We were originally supposed to be Beast Boy and Raven, and I like this vibe better. I feel like a witch. It's fitting, because we're in Massachusetts, so
yes.
It's really fitting.
If you don't know anything about Massachusetts, it's also cold as shit up here.
It's 50 degrees today. We were originally going to go run around downtown and... just go shopping, and we're not going to do that. We're going to stay in, be cozy, play some video games, and
yeah. We
do have our Hufflepuff robes.
That we do.
We
We're
can
probably
throw
not showing
on.
That.
Yeah, they're going to be nice, especially because it's cold in the house.
Yeah.
But October's been a shit month. I don't know if it's been that way for everybody else. We've been going through a lot of stuff, both just annoyances and then family stuff. Mm-hmm. So we are really happy that October is almost over, as much as we do love spooky season.
Yeah.
Because the only good thing that came out of this month was Leslie.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about October in a whole, probably in its own video, but right now,
let's get into the movies.
Yes. Which do we want to start first? We got a big list.
We do have a really big list. This might be a little bit of a longer video. If you like to look at a shorter one, feel free to go to the rest of our channel or hop over to mine or somebody else's. Thank you for having us. I want to talk about the obvious one first. Anybody remember Scary Godmother?
I do.
I love that movie. It is not Halloween until I've watched that movie, and I watched it in the beginning of October.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good movie. It's a very, very fun movie made by not one of the more well-known animation companies and stuff.
It started out as a book series.
Yeah, it started off
I want to find those books. I want to read them. They're kids' books, but still.
Yeah, it started off as a book series, wound up getting 2 short films.
Scary Godmother and Scary Godmother: The Revenge of Jimmy.
Yes.
But the first one is technically called Halloween Spooktacular. So for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a Halloween version of the Fairy Godmother, and it's Scary Godmother. She's a witch. She comes to any child that is scared or crying, and in the movie she goes to a little girl named Hannah after her cousin Jimmy and his friends force her to go into what they refer to as the spook house.
Yes.
And it's like this whole monster tale. You know, if you're able to go house to house trick-or-treating, which I know a lot of people don't do anymore, but there's always that one house you stay away from, or there's always that one abandoned house you never go to.
Yeah, the classic.
And that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, the new kid has to throw candy in the basement, or else the monsters are going to eat all the kids in the world. Mm-hmm. And it's really cute. You can definitely tell it's an older movie by the animation.
It was definitely early 2000s
I think
animation
it might
style.
actually even be late 90s. Let me see real quick.
You think so?
Maybe. Scary Godmother? No, you're right. 2003. You were 3.
Yes, I was. Only 3 years old. But that's also understandable because
I was 5 when
the
I
early
first watched it.
the early 2000s just escaped, or was just starting to get out of the 90s kind of like
they were
computer
starting
systems.
a lot more of the... They weren't doing as many reruns. That was like Rocko's Modern Life and all that kind of stuff, so...
The early 2000s was like leaving the reruns era. The new animations and stuff was starting to clash with hand-drawn animations and stuff like that. And then Scary Godmother kind of was like sat in the middle because even though it's like 2003, it also kind of looks like a 90s movie a little bit.
It does a little bit. It also looks like it could be... Like, I guarantee if I show you... Let me see if I can show the camera. A little bit.
Yeah, a tiny bit. Wow, I forgot about the big purple one.
The big purple... Bugaboo!
Yeah, I forgot about Bugaboo.
He's the monster that lives under your bed.
Yeah.
And she had a cat ghost named Boozle.
Yep. I always thought the werewolf was such a douche.
I loved Harry. But Harry was also really annoying.
He's very annoying. Just very weird character, too. But hey, that was the charm of the movie.
It was the charm, because he's supposed to be the chattering werewolf. And the cute thing is that the movie will also give you, like in the second one, Jimmy tries to ruin Halloween. So he's, like, busting up all the pumpkins in the pumpkin patch. He's putting flammable on all the costumes, poison on the candy. And they're like, well, what the hell are we going to do? We don't have access to candy, costumes, pumpkins. What are we going to do?
Yeah, they always figured out
figured out something nice. But
Mainly
Scary
the girl.
Godmother... Oh, yeah. Hannah was very smart.
Mm-hmm.
And she was only supposed to be 7.
Yeah. Which makes those other kids assholes.
Those other kids were pricks.
Yeah.
At first, at least. Because they get better in Revenge of Jimmy. When it's like a Grinch stole Christmas kind of. Jimmy stole Halloween. Yeah. But it still had that charm to it. I liked it.
It did have that charm to it, too. Which is cool. I actually did hear something that they said they were going to plan to do a third one off one of the books, but it ended up...
Yeah. There wasn't a
there wasn't enough people watching it during the time. It didn't help. There was like kind of like a Halloween exclusive thing, while the other Cartoon Network shows were getting their Halloween stuff. Ed and Eddie, Kids Next Door, Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids had their own like Halloween specials that more kids were geared towards that.
There were. I have those on the list too, don't I?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, it's right here.
Those are good episodes. They're always very fun to watch.
Yeah, because isn't the Ed and Eddie one, which is a nice transition, the Ed and Eddie one, that was that the one when Eddie got in a fight with Rolf, and he was dressed up as a Viking and beating each other with fish?
No, that was just a random episode.
Yeah, that was just
that was the episode where Ed watched too many scary movies.
Halloween Boo Ha Ha.
And Ed started thinking everybody that was dressed up was actually a monster.
Well, I mean, yeah, Halloween Boo Ha Ha.
Like there was the one where he thought like what's his name? Tommy, the little kid with the plank. He thought Johnny. Johnny
2x4.
Yeah, he thought he was an actual giant spider.
Yeah.
And stuff, which I hated that scene. Because they made the mouth so gross.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember... Oh, don't show it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I remember Boo Ha Ha now, because Ed was dressed up as a Viking. That's where I'm getting the Viking thing from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because everyone was a monster.
Yep.
And, yeah, Eddie was supposed to be like Elvis.
And Double D was the bubonic plague.
But there were signs out front that said, like, beware Ebola.
Yeah.
That was before the Ebola crisis.
Which is absolutely funny.
That didn't age well.
No, it didn't. But yeah, that's honestly, like, the one show I want to talk about more. One that oh, there it is. One that I was really synonymous with for me in Halloween and stuff is the original Ridley Scott Alien movie which is definitely one of my favorites.
There is a list of what I have. I have seen all the like kiddish ones. Again, I don't do scary movies. I haven't seen Alien. I know of it. I know the iconic scenes. I know the iconic cast, all that kind of stuff. Never seen it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there is a separate list that he's actually looking at right now of stuff that is everybody's known for Halloween, but I've never seen.
And Alien, I think, is that perfect, kind of like that masterpiece of horror and stuff too, because it came out during a time when something in my eye.
No, you're fine. It was something on your sleeve.
It came out during a time where the whole idea of space was really big, and
You got this one hair.
thank you. Damn hairs.
There we go.
Yeah, space was really big. The horror space was also just as big. So in the film franchises, the use of aliens and other kind of things was definitely used a lot. And Ridley Scott, who was a genius, really knew what he was doing when he was making Alien, because in a lot of scenes there's no music whatsoever. It's just like complete silence.
Well, space is silent.
Exactly, but like it's like it has no build up to what's coming next. It just happens. There's a really iconic scene that I'm a really big fan of, where I can't remember his name, but he was one of the like engineers or like kind of janitor-esque character, right? And when the alien burst out of the guy's chest and stuff, they first thought it was a tiny alien and stuff because they'd never seen a creature like this. It was something gross and insane. Like, so they're going through all of this entire ship trying to find this creature, trying to find it. Because like, it was kind of hard to tell in the movie, but like this is a very, very large ship that's supposed to be part of a colonizing ship. That's like the premise of it. It's like this is like a ship meant for like to be colonizing a new planet. Like it's a whole big deal. So they got to get rid of this creature. They learned that it has acidic blood. So it literally just went through like 7 layers of steel. This is how strong the acid is.
Imagine going through human flesh.
Yeah, and so then they all start to separate, kind of pair off because they think it's tiny. Like usually in horror movies it's a bad idea, but when you think something's really small, they thought it was fine. We get to a scene where he's separated and like there's like some flowing water in this area. He's like trying to like wash his face and stuff. There's always this cat too. There's always this cat that appears.
Why is it always a cat? Leslie, get in here.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. Is he in the bedroom?
I have no idea. But
Probably down the hall.
there's a scene with a cat that kind of elevates the horror a little bit. It's just like kind of there, kind of spooks you here and there. But in this one scene, he comes down, he's washed his face, and he grabs what seems to be like skin, like a fold of skin, implying the creature's shed. And when he turns around, the creature's there standing in front of him, fully grown. Like, absolutely huge. Its mouth is starting to jitter and slowly start to open with the mouth tongue. And all you see is just him being grabbed and thrown up, him screaming, and the scream just cuts off. And the cat is just staring. And that's it. That's the whole scene. There's no music.
Oh, thank God, nothing happened to the cat.
Oh, no, the cat's just watching the whole thing. You just see the shadow over the cat, and he just looks up. Like, there's no music. It's just that quick, violent scream he gives while being pulled up, and then it just suddenly cuts off. Like, it just, the scream just ends. And then there's nothing after that. And that is such a bone-chilling scene right there, because it emphasizes that whatever this thing is grows super fast, has new features of it that is just absolutely bizarre. It literally stands around like 6 to 7 feet tall, has a mouth tongue, a bladed tail, sharp claws, and acidic blood. Like, it's a literal...
Sounds like a horror movie.
It's a literal weapon, and it was such a great and cool concept that ended up getting involved because the sequel was made by James Cameron, who you know was famous for Terminator, which kept the horror aspects but more in the aspects of like war and battlefields.
Yeah.
Because the second one had, instead of one, now there's thousands. because now they're like, there's a scene where like one of them pokes their heads above like the ceiling. He turns on the light, and there's like 4 of them coming towards him and stuff. Like they're coming through the vents, they're coming through the ground. They figured out how to turn off the power.
Oh, fuck that.
And stuff. And then now there's a queen, like a giant one.
Diddly damn don't.
So James Cameron managed to keep horror and action blended perfectly, and some very brutal scenes. There's a scene where one of them... Sorry, we have dogs. Alright, sorry about that. We had slight miss up with animals, but we're good.
Me dying on my coffee. I'm okay.
Okay, what was it saying?
You were talking about Alien.
Oh, yeah. This, like... The second one showed a lot more brutality, because there's a scene in it, where one of the guys shoots the alien, like, point blank in its head, but when its blood splashes on him, you actually start seeing his, like, face, like, start to go. There's even another one where someone, like, got blood on their arm. You just see the arm just go, like, completely off and stuff. Like, it just shows that, like, even, like, these tough soldiers that have been together for years, fighting the most worst things, there's still something way worse than them.
Oh, there's always going to be something way worse.
And that's why, personally, me, Alien is, like, probably one of my number one most favorite horror movie. That and the second one. I don't talk much about the third one. The third one kind of went to, like, this weird prison arc thing. It was very odd. It was, like, it had some cool concepts, like, the face hugger went onto a dog. And, like, it was, like, smaller, but it was faster, and, like, ran on all 4s and stuff. And, there's this whole thing where Ridley actually had, a different face hugger on her. She had a queen one on her, so she was, like, gonna give birth to, like, a queen alien, so she, like, jumped up out of lava and, quote-unquote, like, killed herself.
Mm.
Except, in the next movie, they cloned her.
Why is there always cloning?
I don't know. They cloned her. She suddenly has alien DNA in her, so she's like super badass with all these intense skills. And there's another one that's like half human and half alien that's trying to come back to Ripley because it thinks it's her mother. They got really weird. It was like that time where sequels started to take over and the movie just lost its whole charm after that. What you got?
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I again, don't do scary movies. Mm-hmm. So, like, the creepiest movie I've ever watched is Coraline.
Which is a good one.
Or should I take that back? My sister had me watch Donnie Darko when I was a kid. I fucking hated her. I thought there was a rabbit man standing at the end of my bed that was going to kill me for, like, 4 years.
I still do not know the concept of Donnie Darko.
I don't either. The only,
and I've never seen it.
The only, like, horror movie that I've watched, if you want to count it, is Warm Bodies. That's the closest I've come to, like, watching a normal horror movie. But
and that's more like a romantic comedy. Not even, like...
Kind of. Yeah, it's got that charm.
Yeah.
If you want to call it charm. But, like, watching, you know, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown has always been... Because they'll play it on Trick or Treat Night. That is the one time where I'm always like, oh, okay, it's Halloween, it's time.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, like the classic movies like that. Yeah.
It's the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's like when CBS and all them were talking about taking Frosty and Rudolph off, which I understand it's Halloween and I'm referencing Christmas stuff, okay? Listen, I understand too. But it's like, those are the movies you have to play on Halloween. It's like having Christmas without the Santa Claus movies.
Right, yeah.
Or Frosty and Rudolph. It's like, that's... Then it's not the holidays. Then it's not Halloween.
Exactly.
And Casper. Casper
too. Another classic.
Yeah.
Especially the movie that came out.
The live action one?
Yeah.
Yeah, with not Winona. Christina Ricci.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That was before she did Addams Family, which is another thing that I'm like, oh, it's Halloween the second the Addams Family comes on, or the Munsters, which he finally watched the Munsters last night.
Very good show. I still like the Addams Family a little bit more, but I equally like this one too.
Yeah, they were around at the same time. I think I talked about that on my channel at some point. My list is a lot of Tim Burton.
Tim Burton's good. He has a bit of that class to it. It has like that bit of like that spooky factor to him. You can even say like Alice in Wonderland.
It's on there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a Halloween movie.
No, but it's a Tim Burton movie that has to do with psychedelics.
Yeah, so, you know, it's there. It's same as like we have Edward Scissorhands. Either that came out on Christmas.
It didn't come out on Christmas. It's
themed around Christmas.
Yeah.
But even
it's like
still
Gremlins.
Yeah. Which even that's a bit of a toss up too. It's like it's a Halloween movie, it's a Christmas movie, like same with like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like
Nightmare Before Christmas is both.
Yeah, we can agree it's both.
But
Gremlins is like
where do you put Gremlins?
Everyone has said that is a horror Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. That is what I have learned, what I've kind of accepted. It's kind of like Krampus.
Yeah.
And there's just like this one where like Santa's fighting vampires.
Oh,
stuff.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Yeah, and one where he fights Krampus and stuff.
You remember and we'll discuss this also at a later date, but it just popped in my head. You remember the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Christmas thing
always
where
a weird,
Santa was a vampire?
Weird correlation, Santa and vampires. Never understood
Why?
that. Like, same with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, there's Abraham Lincoln the Vampire Slayer we never watched.
I actually kind of watch it because I know it's such a dumb concept, but I want to watch it just because it's so goofy.
So, we also watched Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder last night.
Which is such a great...
What the hell?
It's funny, it's so goofy, it's filled with Gene Wilder charm, it has so many references to the classic Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
In there, that's just chock full of good stuff, with a little bit of Wolfman and Dracula.
A little bit.
Mixed in there too with some of the characters and...
Yeah, they have nods to Dracula, which we finished the original Dracula.
Yes.
We watched Creature of the Black Lagoon. These are the classics that I had never seen, which was ironic because we were at Universal, and Universal Studios is known for those monsters, and especially this time of year. Like,
the first one we watched was actually The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man was hilarious. For a movie that came out in the 30s, it was really well done. It's
extremely entertaining. Honestly, like, out of the ones we've watched so far, I still love Creature of the Black Lagoon the most. That was the one we watched next. That's more of a creature monster movie.
The screaming, though. I understand it's the 30s, but the dramatic damsel in the distress screaming gets on my nerves.
It's a bit of the thing. It doesn't help that that's kind of like what King Kong first started, which I'm going to get her on that, and the original Godzilla, because
he's already got the cat on it. The cat will sit there and watch your dinosaur documentaries with you and your dino game.
Yep. So I got that going for me, but
he stole my cat.
But Creature of the Black Lagoon does have that lot of like damsel in distress, horror, and screaming, but like it still has a really nice, fun charm to it. The characters are
it was
really,
very charming.
The characters are really, really likable. Like,
you kind of felt for the creature a little bit.
And that's kind of like what they had going. Like, you kind of feel bad for the creature because it's not... In fairness, they kind of came to its place, so it's not really anyone's fault that it's lashing out.
The thing was that the creature, like, wasn't the first one. They find a fossil and they're like, oh my god, this is fantastic, I want to do an expedition, and they're like, oh, but you don't hurt the creature.
Yeah.
Everything was like, don't hurt the creature, and yet there's always that one guy that's wanting to hunt the creature. It's like Tarzan with Clayton.
Yeah, I gotta show you the second movie because then you'll really feel bad because they actually find another creature. I don't know if it's... They don't... It's weird. They find the creature. It's implied that it's the same one, but some people say it was another one that survived and stuff. So I'm just going to go with the notion that it's the same one that just somehow managed to survive getting shot down.
Shot like 4 times in the torso?
Yeah. They actually do capture it and bring it to, like, civilization, like Los Angeles or something, and
It's always LA or New York.
I can't remember where it is, and they have it like chained like at the bottom like an aquarium thing, and they're trying to train it and stuff to try to like show it has intelligence. It's kind of listening, like it understands like this command, but it's still obsessed over the girl. So like, oh yeah, you can't come near it. And then there's a scene where they're like, all right, we gotta get him off because he's grabbing the girl. It breaks out, freaks out. They're trying to electroprod it to keep him from stopping. It gets so pissed, it breaks free, crawls out of the water, starts attacking. There's a scene where it grabs a car and flips the whole thing and stuff, and then it goes right into the ocean. And actually, now that I remember, it's set in Florida, so it has the ocean and all the Everglades, like swamps to hide in.
Yeah.
So, and then at the end, they, like 30 people just not only gun it down, they throw fire bottles at it and start setting it on fire.
Why is it always fire?
I don't know.
That's what always made me feel bad for Frankenstein, because I don't like fire. It's fascinating, but I don't like fires.
So yeah, that one really makes you feel bad, and then they made a third one, which was not that good, because they literally Frankensteined him, which by removing his gills and just make him big, and the end of that implies that he went back to the ocean. They're like, no, we can't let him go back because he might drown because he doesn't have gills anymore. And the movie implies that he went back to his original
Godzilla.
Yeah. He went back to where he started, which was like it actually the scene where he's like going back to the ocean is actually the first scene we see in the first movie, like with the feet prints going out of the ocean. So he goes back to that, and it implies that he returned to the ocean. I think it's implied that he died. Like
because
he
didn't have any gills to be able to breathe.
Because they were trying to make him more human, which was dumb. But, yeah, that's Creature of the Lagoon. It's my personal favorite. We finished Dracula.
Yeah. Dracula, like, we didn't have very much left. But that, too, also has, like, a charm to it.
I still can't get over the...
Oh.
The face when he's like...
Harry, look deeply into my eyes.
It does have that good charm. It ends very abruptly.
It does end abruptly. But the funny thing is that for the movie Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp, where he's the vampire that got turned by the witch that he didn't want to be with, or that he slept around with as a teenager, he'll do that all the time, like when he's talking, like this is the way he has his hands. So I don't know if like Johnny might have pulled from the original Dracula, or if that was what Tim wanted, or what, because it's a Tim Burton film.
Because you saw what he was doing with frickin' Van Helsing. Was like, come here with the fucking hand thing. I wish he did that. The Gandalf thing. He's like, that was a good one. And you know what's another one? I totally forgot to mention to another monster one was Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. It's that big lizard that attacks New York.
Oh yeah.
Because that actually inspired Godzilla.
That inspired Godzilla?
Yeah.
How old is that movie?
It's 1924.
Okay. Damn.
It's an old movie, or maybe not 1924. Maybe a little bit like in the 30s. But
what's it called again?
Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. It was a Ray Harryhausen film. It was actually Ray Harryhausen's first movie he got to do. It is very good. It came out right after King Kong.
53.
53. So yeah, that's what inspired Godzilla and stuff.
Oh yeah, it just looks like a giant iguana.
Yeah, but it's still good though. It's a classic.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get to that, but again,
we've got a long list of movies.
We're probably not going to get through all of them too. We might try to go through them until the end of November.
Yeah, because like, instead of Thanksgiving, it's Indigenous Peoples Day, and we are still going to do like a big family dinner, but that's just before the big hoopla for Christmas. So, are there any? No, let me try that sentence again. Are there any other movies you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to go through one more because we're about to hit the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, we're trying to keep these under 30.
There was always been a tradition of mine for a long time. Probably my all-time favorite slasher movie to have ever Grace theaters was Friday the 13th. Like, I absolutely adore that movie. Like, the first one was so good. It had an incredible twist, a nice build-up. The gore effects were pretty impressive, too, for its time as well. Apparently, the makeup crew used a lot of, like fake meat for, like, slices and, like, a lot of, like, plastering. Because there's a scene where a guy gets his neck cut, so it's, like, a steak, a lot of, like, extra plastering, stuff like that, and, like, a tube with, like, blood to, like, splurt out.
Yeah, they did that, or something similar with Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
There would be, like, a certain, like, because every single time, Sweeney Todd will, like, slit someone's throat. They're facing a certain way, so they can hide the tube, because it's supposed to just splurt. But,
And the joy of Friday the 13th is the ungodly amount of sequels that it came out with.
And the ridiculous sequels it came out with.
Yeah, like Jason X when he goes into space and stuff, or Jason versus Freddy, which originally was supposed to be Ash versus Jason versus Freddy.
Who?
Ash from Evil Dead. He's the guy with the shotgun, the chainsaw.
Oh, stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, I don't know this shit.
Yeah, it's fine. It was supposed to be him in it, which then that ended up getting scrapped because that meant because the actor wanted Ash to beat them both, and they didn't want that. So
there were a couple of movies that we had suggested watching. I've never seen Scream movies, but I know of Ghostface, and obviously I love Matthew Illiard.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we can watch that, and we haven't gotten around to it yet. I don't know if you want to tonight or not, but there are movies I will not watch.
Yeah.
I do not want to watch any of Stephen King's movies.
I think there are some, though, you would find interesting, because not all of them are like It or The Mist and stuff like
Especially
that.
the remake of it. I'm a true crime junkie, so the fact that like I found out that it was partially inspired by John Wayne Gacy, the clown killer, already gives me really bad vibes. Also, the fact that you can buy some of the products that he made and they're toys geared towards children. I can't talk. It's irritating, and it's freaky, and I don't like it. The remake of it, because I watched clips of the original one with Tim Curry. Love that man.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well. So
it hasn't aged well. It hasn't aged well. But I don't do clowns. But it's like, what's the clown movie that Alex was talking about when we had...
Oh, Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yeah, I don't... Nope. I've seen clips of that. I don't like it. I don't care. If
it's more of a comedy
I don't care. I don't care. Get the fuck out. I don't care. I don't do clowns. I don't do, like, Pet Sematary. I don't do... I watched the remake of Carrie with my mom. The remake with,
I heard a lot of people didn't like the remake.
Yeah. It did not do well.
Because they randomly CGI'd her.
They randomly CGI'd her, and instead of giving her, like, the original, like, synopsis for the story, where she's just, like, this girl that's got really bad luck, they made her a witch.
Alright, that's stupid.
Yeah. They made her have, like, psychedelic powers, and she was able to read people's minds. Like, at the end, she, like, says that somebody's pregnant, and then they actually wind up being pregnant or something, or they die at the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something weird. I didn't pay a lick of attention to it. Really quick, we'll go through some honorable mentions. I've never watched The Craft, but I want to. That is on my list. And I heard that they remade it. Not watching the remake. Okay. Every single remake, when it comes to a Halloween movie, except for It, has been crap.
We didn't put in Jaws. I actually realized we didn't try to put in Jaws.
Would that have counted?
Yeah,
as a Halloween movie? Okay, well,
not really.
Jaws.
It's still a horror movie to begin with.
That's true.
Animal horror is kind of its own thing, like Lake Placid, like with the alligators.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Put Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. I will not fuck with Nightmare on Elm Street. Anything that has to do with, like, something coming to you in your dreams. I already have really weird dreams, especially when I've had a cup of coffee and taken a melatonin.
Yeah. It doesn't help that he's kind of loosely based on an actual killer, too.
Yeah.
Same with Michael, and,
Yeah, see, I never watched the Halloween movies, which should be a sin in this household.
Yeah, my stepfather loves Halloween. It's his favorite
I'm willing to watch, like, the first one.
Yeah, watch the original one. The Rob Zombie ones are like, eh.
That was the thing, too. We were gonna watch the Munsters movie, Munsters Go Home, but the only one that we could find for a minute was the Rob Zombie remake that did not do well.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But it's kind of cute because it's when Lily and Herman first meet.
Yeah, so there's some charm.
But it's also, like, the majority of the cast is his family.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. But, I said Pet Sematary. The Exorcist. The Exorcist, The Ring, Ouija. Nope. Because every single time somebody says that they have watched that movie or that movie has come out, and I know they're doing, like, an Exorcist documentary or something.
Yeah.
Weird shit happens. October has already been bad enough. I don't want any more bad juju.
The Ring and The Grudge are also two I don't like.
The Grudge. I forgot about The Grudge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
Terrified. Japanese horror is, like, terrifying.
What was the thing?
That's the, not James Cameron. That's the one with the creature disguising itself as other people.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the one, like,
I asked you this the other day.
That's the one I knew you would not like. I'm actually confident you would probably, like, throw up if you watched that movie.
Yeah, that's not.
It is, like, horrendously disgusting and gory.
Here's a weird little tidbit about me before we go. Like I said, I am a true crime junkie. I can listen to Rotten Mango, that's the podcast that I listen to for my true crime, or True Crime Junkie, like, all day. I might even be able to fall asleep to it, because that's just, like, I find comfort in those women.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do watching documentaries. I cannot do watching horror movies, slasher movies. My best friend loves watching it. Chelsea's a real big horror fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
She loves that shit. But listening to a true crime documentary, she cannot do it. It makes her queasy, sick to her stomach. I told you when we were dissecting rats in science and she kept gagging.
Mm-hmm.
She had me do it and I was fine.
Yeah.
But, like, the visual of finding, like, like for instance, the podcast that I'll listen to will also do a video version. Now, that video version sometimes isn't available on YouTube just because she'll show the crime scene pictures. Obviously not, like, decapitated bodies or anything like that. She's got common sense. But I can't go onto their website and look at anything. Her first episode for the pod was the Toy Box Killer.
Yeah.
Where he created, like, this shack and would kidnap women, torture them with his daughter, and assault them and all kinds of stuff. They had pictures. She has it on their website. She has their mugshots, and, like, there's the True Crime Museum.
Yeah.
What's it called? Alcatraz or something like that?
Yep.
I can't do it. Visual shit, I can't do. But listening to the stories and listening to, like, the recordings of the victims is totally different. But, like, actually sitting down and watching a documentary about, like, even the movie Dahmer, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't stomach it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm weird that way.
I think that should sum it up right there.
I think so. I think we're good. Also, yeah. I just realized that my tattoo matches the moon on my arm.
Nice. Hell yeah. We'll probably have to make a part 2 of this sometime. We'll definitely have a follow-up for Christmas as well.
Oh, yeah. If there was any movies that we did not get to, or any shows we did not get to, we didn't mention Scooby-Doo. Speaking of Matthew Illiard.
Yeah.
But, or FNAF. I want to know, because I am not in the FNAF space. I know of FNAF from Markiplier. So, anybody who has wanted to go and see that movie, or has seen that movie, because I know it's on Peacock now, tell us.
Yeah.
Like, you're curious about this too.
Yeah.
And I've even been kind of curious about, like, watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard that it has not been a good experience for people in theaters because people have been rowdy and...
Yeah, so I'd rather watch it at home and not deal with that shit.
And be able to pause and, like, analyze stuff. Because we talk.
Yeah, we talk a lot. We like to analyze movies. We like to dissect them and stuff like that.
It's fun for us.
This
is our bonding experience.
Oh, yeah.
But, without further ado, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, tell us your favorite Halloween movie or your Halloween activity.
Punch that like button.
In the face.
Smash everything in your room.
Don't actually do that.
And leave a comment and share and
turn on your notifications. Turn on that bell so you know every time we upload, or to personalize it for any other uploads. Before I forget, we did carve pumpkins, and I already said this in our pumpkin carving video. They did not last.
No, yeah. So
we'll be posting them. They'll be on my TikTok. I'll put some pictures on my TikTok with some cute little videos. And hope you guys have a happy and safe Halloween. Bye.
See you guys.